I'm feeling spicy, so what I want to do is tear down one of HighLevel's newest workflow recipes, show you how I would rebuild it, and maybe learn some things in the process about what IVR does inside of HighLevel. This is a new feature, and how it can apply to your business. Let's hop over to my screen and show you what I'm talking about. So inside of your account, you go to automations, and we're just gonna go ahead and create a brand new workflow. And what I'm looking at is down here in the bottom is this IVR recipe. IVR is the kind of phone functionality. So if you call in, it plays a message, basically says, hey, dial 1 for support, dial 2 for sales. And then it directs it and does actions based on whatever you configured it to, so that people can do that. And so that's what we got. So calling in, you can filter by phone number. I don't have a phone number set, but here we'll go ahead and set a phone number. So any calls into here are gonna go through this process. First, it's gonna play this message, right? And this is the action, it's gonna say a message. And you got some settings in there, how many times it's gonna play. Second, it's gonna give the option. So it's kind of like a play a message, and now it's like basically say something and listen to gather for that input. So it's like press 1 to hear the list of services, press, this is probably supposed to be 2. Press 2 to leave a voicemail, press 3 to talk to our team, right? And some other settings going on there. It's going to wait up to 5 seconds, and as soon as there's a digit, it's going to pass into the next step. The next step is mapping those caller inputs. And you see here, we've got press 1, where it's going to play the list of services. Press 2, and it's going to allow them to record their message. Press 3, it's going to transfer to an agent. We need to choose somebody in that recipe. And then 4, basically, if they don't say anything in 5 seconds, it's going to pass off and kind of do the same process again, right? Ask again, hey, did this happen? This is where I would scrap this whole section. There's redundancy. If you wanted to edit settings here, you have to do it in multiple places, right? If I want to transfer to agent on step 3, I have to select that agent, and then I actually have to go and do that again over here again, because there's technically 2 different actions. That's why it's kind of unnecessary, and it's just redundant. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this decision tree, and I'm going to delete it all. Goodbye. Then I'm going to instead pass through an if-else that basically says first time, or like, is it first time hearing it? My option is yes, and I'll show you how we're going to do this. And then the other flow is no. So I actually want to move this. So, okay, we'll choose this. We'll do custom. We can go contact details. We'll go tags. Is empty. I'll come back to this. So now, if it's the first time through, what did I say there was the tag doesn't exist. So it's the first time through. Then what's it going to do? It's going to play this message. It's going to say, you haven't entered a valid input. Please listen to the options again to make a valid selection. And then instead of restating that, I'm actually going to delete this option as well. We're going to just use the go-to function. Go-to. And we're going to go up to the step 2, which is where it places the options, right? Which is press 1 to do services, press 2 to do that all. So the nice thing is, as far as editing and maintaining going on, I have the least amount of variables to change, right? I still only have my 3 options of press 1, press 2, press 3. Everything that's happening, I'm only editing one time. And I still have a decision tree basically saying, hey, was it the first time, or was it not, or is it the second time? And I actually think I prematurely deleted one aspect of this, which is if it's the second time, they had an action here that says, you have not entered a valid input. This call is now ending. Something to that extent. right? But we've got all of our actions only happen here once. We don't have unnecessary redundancies because we use that goto function to actually loop the option. The creative thing here is how do you measure the first time versus it being the next time through? And so what we're going to do is if it's the first time, we're going to do something. You can do it tag based. You can do it custom field based. It kind of doesn't matter how you do this, but we're going to update. I'm going to go tag, right? We're going to go add contact tag. And we're going to call it, IVR1. It doesn't really matter. And if you don't want to use tags, you could do it something with a custom contact field. So we're adding this IVR1 field, and that's what we're going to check against. So is it the first time? Meaning, does the tag not include, and then we're going to find our IVR1. So if they don't have the tag IVR1, then it's going to run to the first time and basically let them go through a second time. The second time, if it includes the tag IVR, I'm going to add an action in here to actually remove that tag, just in case they call in again. Right? So here's our full flow. They call in, they get the message. All of these things are only edited once. It tells them press 1, press 2, press 3. Here's your options. If they give an input, press 1, press 2, press 3. It's going to do whatever those are. If they don't give an input in 5 seconds, it basically times out. It passes them through. And then it says, is this my first time through? Meaning, do they have this IVR1 tag there? And actually I said if they don't. So we're saying, do they not have this IVR1 tag there? Okay, cool. That means it's their first time. And so what am I doing? I'm adding the IVR1 tag, which is now going to basically say if they come back again, it's gonna note that they already have this tag. It's gonna play this message that says, hey, listen again, and update this. I'm noticing also in the recipe, we got a couple of misspellings or missing pieces here. So selection is misspelled. We had, press 2 was missing in there. Little things, which I'm sure will be fixed. But the nice thing is I want to edit in one place now. So everything that's happening, there's a single point of editing, and it still accomplishes the same result of it looping through twice. If they didn't answer, then it adds a tag. It checks again. If they still don't answer, then it's going to remove the tag, and then it's going to play the message says the call is being ended, and they basically get removed from the workflow, and the call hangs up. And so that is how I would change the recipe in here. Some people are thinking, Matt, maybe you should remove the tag upon any of these success paths here, and I'd be fine with that too. So if you wanted to be super robust, I might add an extra remove tag here, just in case they came through their second time. And then for the rest of these, I'm going to do that same sort of thing where I'm going to use the goto function. I love the goto function because it just simplifies any sort of updating or editing in the future. And so now it's going to remove the tag. So any successful path, it's going to remove the tag in case they come through once. And then if they call again, it doesn't assume it's the second time. So this is, we'll zoom out a little bit more. This is the most robust version of the IVR recipe. Like I said, for HighLevel's recipe, you can obviously create this with a ton more inputs, a ton more optionality, different departments, different actions here. But for their default IVR recipe, this is how I would change it and rebuild it to be a little bit cleaner, easier to manage, and a lot more functional when it comes to long-term usability. If you liked this and you want to see more like this, we have a free Facebook group. You are welcome to join. I do HighLevel Hot Takes in there. We also have a podcast, HighLevel Hot Takes, and love to cover things like this, just training tips, everything when it comes to HighLevel and how to best maximize it for your business, or if you're launching and growing your own SaaS.